Hi Flosstube, this is Elizabeth from Nutty's News, back with another video. This is my second Flosstube video, and I'm coming to you today to share with you my list of projects for Michelle Rudy's hashtag challenge, the Stitch 10 in 20. I shared in my previous video that my goal for this year is to get through a lot of my whips or UFOs, things that I've had sitting around, and some of them for many, many years. So I took Michelle at her word. If you go watch her video, she was very clear about there are no rules really for Stitch 10 and 20. You just choose 10 things you're going to stitch, and you've got from February 1st this year until February 1st of 2021 to get those things done, and that's what the challenge is. So that's what I'm going to do. My projects are a combination of every one of the needle arts that I participate in or that I do. I have some quilting, some sewing, some knitting, some crocheting, and then I do have one cross stitch project. So let's get started and I will show you what I'm doing. This is the first project that I have. It's something that I started several years ago for, well, I said in my last video that having project bags for things has been a goal of mine for a long time, and that's what this was. I know it was made from a commercial sewing pattern. This was part of it. I think it was supposed to be a flap with pockets that hold certain things. I think I was thinking probably like quilting tools or something like that. I have a lot of fabric and more fleece and lining and the bias trim. I'm going to revamp this into just a regular project bag. I'll go stash diving and find a zipper and reconfigure some things. So that is number one on my list. The next one is a knitting project, and this is my walk of shame. This is a project I should have finished a long time ago, well over a year ago, because it's for somebody else. This is a lace scarf, and I'm more than halfway through with it. I just have, I don't know where my middle is here. I think the middle is about right here. So I just have about 2/3 of one end to knit. So this is my top priority. The project bag will kind of be done in the background behind this, but this is my definite, I'm giving myself 1 week to finish this one because it's got to get done. The next one is also a knitting project. It's a pair of socks I'm knitting for one of my daughters. One done, one part way done. So that's going to be number 3. Let's see, I'm going to check my list here. The next one is a newer start, but it's something that's very much needed in our home, and rather than just throw something up and then wind up redoing it, we have the little dinette or breakfast eating area in our kitchen, and I need some cafe curtains there. So I want them to have some lace trim. So this is what I'm working on. It's a pattern that comes out of an old work basket magazine. So this is going to be kind of a longer term project, but we'll definitely get done within the year. It's number 4 on my list, so you know, maybe even in a few months I'll have this one done. And that's a crochet project. These next couple of things, other than my upstairs sewing room, which I showed in my last video, the upstairs sewing room would be my oldest whip in this list. This is one of the next oldest. I don't know if you can see. This is a quilt. It's the oak leaf pattern, and it's a very, very, very special quilt. This quilt is a scrap quilt, and it's made with pieces of fabric that came from clothing that belonged to my first husband, who passed away in 1998 from acute pancreatitis. I was making this quilt for his mom. Sadly, she has also passed away since then. So I'm going to finish it and give it to one of his sisters, and I have enough of the fabric that I might just make some more for some other of his siblings. That's kind of a hard thing, a shameful thing to me that I didn't get it to his mom. So that's on my list. That's a definite gotta get it done. Excuse me for reaching off camera here, but some of this stuff is pretty big, so I've got big piles. This is another quilt that I need to finish this year. It's a 3-dimensional bow tie quilt where the middles of the bow tie are folded fabric. I'm down to the quilting on the borders, and this one has also been put away for a long time. This one's a little bit older than the previous quilt. It's 22 years old. This is the quilt that I was working on for a baby daughter at the time that my husband went into the hospital. Needless to say, it got put away because it was a very intense time, and then I just never got it out and finished it. The next 2 things on my list are a couple of Afghans, and I've gone searching through what's accessible of my totes and boxes from the move, and I couldn't find them in those things, but I know that I'm going to uncover them before the year is out, and so they definitely go on my list. One of them is a remake. It's an Afghan that I made for my first husband and was subsequently passed on to my eldest son when my husband passed away. That child was 9 at the time. He had it on his bed for a long time, and then some of the yarn started to come apart. I don't know if it was yarn actually broke and some holes showed up in the Afghan, or I don't remember exactly what the situation was, but I raveled that 2 or 3 years ago with the intention of remaking it for him so that he could still have that Afghan. And I know that I have the yarn balls all prepped and ready to go, and it's in a box or a tote somewhere. So that one's on my list. And then I have another Afghan that I started many years ago. Actually, probably more than 20 years ago also. It was one that I was making for one of my daughters, and it has a central flower motif that's pink. It's kind of a granny square Afghan. So it's got a pink flower with a white surround and then some green border, and it's attached together or sewn together. And I don't remember if that was one I was sewing together or if it was one that was being attached as you go, block by block. But I know that one also, all the materials are all together. It's in a plastic zipper bag, like a bedspread bag. And again, it's somewhere in one of my totes or boxes, and I will find it before the end of the year. So that one is going on my list. Now the last 2, this is a crocheted piece that, I don't know if you can see that. Let me, this is a filleted crocheted piece that I've been working on for a long time. I've got quite a bit of it here. It's going to be 1 panel in a bedspread that I'm making for my bed. And I haven't quite decided if it's going to be all crocheted or if I'm just going to crochet some panels and put some trim on them and then sew them onto a fabric base. I'm kind of just playing that by ear as I go. But it's time to get serious about this one too. And if nothing else, at least get the panels done. So that one is on my list. And then the final thing is my, here it is, excuse me. It's my upstairs sewing room, which is my cross stitch that I showed the other day. I have been working on this quite a bit, actually. I stitched for most of the day yesterday. And so I have gotten a lot done on the dress. Right in here, all of this. I did discover I could not find some of my flosses. And even when I did find my ratty old chart, it's falling apart as you can see. It wasn't with like a project bag or anything that had flosses in it, and the other missing projects weren't there. So a couple of the floss numbers that I needed for this project I had to go and buy again. And I did notice that some of the dye lots, there's a difference, but there's so much variation in these blues in here that it's not going to be noticeable at all, especially once I get the back stitching in there. So this is the last item on my Stitch 10 in 20 list. There you have it. That's my project list for Michelle's challenge, and I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to getting some of these things done, getting them off my list, so I won't feel guilty about starting anything new. Now I have a very special thank you that I need to say. I had left a comment on Lisa Smith, who's Kindred Stitcher. I'd left a comment on, I think it was her latest video. She's having an amazing giveaway on that video, by the way, so go check it out. Anyway, I just left her a comment because she said, if you've got a floss tube, let me know. I want to check it out. So I did. I told her I just started, just put up my first video, and she went and watched it, and then I got a message from her on Instagram, and she said, can I send you a little something? And I said, sure. You know, well, let me just show you what Lisa's idea of a little something is. A package arrived in my mailbox Friday afternoon, and when I opened the envelope, I pulled out this. So, beautiful, absolutely gorgeous project bag. Buttons on the zipper pull. Pink fabric inside, my color. Let me tell you, my style. This is gorgeous. Thank you so much, Lisa. I'm not really a black person, but these flowers are absolutely beautiful, and the way this all fits together, the whole style of this, it's just gorgeous. So, as if that wasn't enough, then she sent me a package of Belfast linen and a hand dyed from Fantasy Dyed Fibers on Etsy, another 32 count Belfast. And oh my gosh, you guys, this is so beautiful. I don't know, we've got a really super gray rainy day here, so I've got my bedroom light on. I don't know how well you can, the colors, what I'm seeing on my screen look pretty true to life. So thank you. I don't know what I'm going to stitch on this, but I know it's going to be gorgeous and a lot of fun. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 little patterns. Whoops, that one's upside down. So there's this really cute pillow. This one I think is also made into a pillow, or maybe it's a like a quilted wall hanging. And one of my daughters saw this and got all excited because it's roses and it's June and that's her birthday month. This cute little house. Look at those trees. Aren't they amazing? Those are so cute. This sampler, which it's one of my favorite verses in the book of Philippians, just about thinking on good and right and healthy, wholesome things. And then there's this. And I have already in my mind divided this little sampler up into a pin drum and a needle keep or a needle book, and I think it was either a pin disc or a scissors holder, or maybe it was all of the above. I don't know, but that's the plans I have for this one. And then this adorable, adorable little pansies. And purple is another one of my favorite colors. So this one, and there's even the little button in there that goes right there in the girl's hand. So that one I'm definitely going to do. And then this one, I think it's the first one I'm going to stitch from this. That folk art flower, the simplicity of it is just really cool. So that was the gifted goodness that Lisa sent me, that I was just so shocked. So that's the little something that came in the mail on Friday. Thank you so much, Lisa. And last but not least, I finished watching all of Lisa's videos from the beginning. I'd gone back to number 1 and watched all the way through. I'm done with those. I'm moving on to new stitchers. I've been watching Brian at Blitz Stitch. I've been watching Marlene over at Stitching by the Lake. And I have caught a couple of Lori, Mischievous Stitchers videos. So I am expanding my Floss universe. Yeah, tried to be cute with that. Don't think it worked very well. Anyway, I'm one of those people that I may catch a video here or catch a video there, but and Lori, Mischievous Stitcher, said the same thing in like her first Flosstube. Then if I kind of connect or resonate with that person, I will go all the way back to the beginning of their videos and we'll watch them from the beginning on. And I personally think it does a lot to kind of help you get to know that person. So that's the way I do it. And these are the videos that I'm working on. And I just have to say it's exciting. I'm really energized to dig into a lot of the needlework projects that I love to do, that I've had sitting around for years unfinished for a variety of reasons. Some of them pretty dramatic, others just procrastination, and some just plain old forgetfulness. So that's what I'm using Michelle's Stitch 10 and 24. It's fitting in great with my personal goals, and I can't wait to share all the finishes with you guys. Thanks so much for watching this video, and for those of you who have subscribed, I appreciate it very much, and I will catch you next time. Bye.